Today, I want to give you 3 practical tips you can take away into your daily life to improve your gut health. If you can take these 3 tips. So, what's the first one? The first one is actually really important. And in Australia, we're coming up to summer. So, a lot of people will be making these mistakes over summer. And this is to actually having something very cold with your meal. So, a glass of iced water, a cold drink, an ice cream, an acai bowl, all of these things, they're very cold in nature. So as you know, our body works at a certain temperature. Our gut works at a certain temperature. And for our body to be able to produce the digestive enzymes, there's an optimum temperature. Now, when we eat or drink something very cold, especially very close to a meal or with a meal, it drops the temperature of our gut by a couple of degrees. And when that happens, it basically suppresses the production of the enzymes that are needed to digest the food we've just eaten. So, what happens? So, you've had a glass of really nice cold water because it was a really hot, sunny day. You came back, you had a glass of cold water or 2 glasses of cold water, and you think you're doing the right thing because you are hydrating and you're having lots of water. And then you sit down and you have your meal straight after or within 5 minutes of that or whatever it is. But what's happening is that you've dropped the temperature in your gut. Now, the food that you're eating in is actually going to take a lot longer to get digested because the enzymes are not being released properly. And depending on how heavy this meal is, what's the quality of the meal, if the meal is also cold or heavy, then that food might potentially sit there. It might potentially start causing you more issues like bloating and gas and mixing with everything else, and just really causing a lot of trouble because the food has not been able to be digested in the time frame it should have been digested. So I would really encourage you all to step away from drinking cold water. And you'll often see this in a lot of traditional cultures, like they'll drink a little bit of hot water or hot tea with the food. And I'd love to know if this happens in your culture where you would have a little bit of hot water with your meal, because it's really important to do this. Now, in Australia, as I said, we're coming into summer, so it becomes a little bit harder for a lot of people, but I really encourage that. And in the northern hemisphere with our friends from Europe and America and all of that, we're heading into the cold season, so it's actually much easier to do that. But again, you don't want to drink too much water, so just half a cup of hot water with your meals will really help to improve your digestion. If you already do this, I would love to know. Please drop a comment and I'd love to know. Now, the second one, we have spoken about this briefly once before, but is actually to eat mindfully. So be very present with your food, be fully with it, use all your senses when you eat. Smell your food, taste your food, look at your food, eat it in a beautiful environment, and eat really mindfully. Again, it goes back to that digestion and the digestive process. When our body anticipates the food, when we look at it, we pick it up, we smell it, we look at it, it looks great, it looks appetizing, or it's something we enjoy eating, our body starts preparing for it. The digestive enzymes get released. So when we eventually eat the food, we actually digest it much, much better. Now, the third thing is again related to the same eating mindfully, but it's actually to chew your food. Chew it really well, because chewing and the mouth is the first step of digestion. Really chewing the food, to breaking it down really well, because when we break down the food, the surface area increases. When the surface area increases, as you can imagine, we eat the food, the enzymes and everything else can work on the food much better. So really chew your food. So I'd love to know if you already knew any of this, or if any of this information is new. If you're going to try it out, I'm really inviting you to try these things out, and I'd love some feedback on this. So thank you so much for watching. And as you know, I work one-on-one with my clients. And if you'd like to dive deeper into helping resolve any of your digestive or health issues, please feel free to book our one-on-one call with me. And I'm dropping the connection call link in the comments below. It's a free call where we chat and we get to know each other, and we get to know if we'll be a good fit to work together. And you'll also walk away with great tips in that call as well.